Hi, I'm Granny, and we're going down the rabbit hole of Alzheimer's link to circadian rhythm. This is really incredible. We have all heard of the devastating disease called Alzheimer's. It is called a neurodegenerative disorder affecting over 6 million Americans and more than 55 million people worldwide have dementia, and between 60 and 70% of those cases are Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the most common type of dementia, and a link has been found with the disruption of your body's circadian rhythm. I have a video on our circadian rhythm, which I recommend to better understand our bodies and this video. Neurodegenerative disorders are a group of diseases that cause progressive degeneration and death of nerve cells or neurons in the brain and in your spinal cord. Examples of some of the neurodegenerative disorders are Parkinson's, ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, and many others that I won't waste your time by trying to pronounce them, but there are a lot. And it'll be interesting to see if they can find a link between disruption of your circadian with any of those. The disruptions to your circadian rhythm can severely impact cognitive function, particularly at night, and lead to persistent sleep problems, issues, whatever you want to call them. As I mentioned in my previous video, scientists attribute the disruptions to your circadian rhythm can cause, in addition to those listed previously, but other diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and how about this, psychiatric disorders, and weight gain. While these symptoms have long been discovered or considered a consequence of the disease, new research suggests they may play a more active role. A recent study from the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine has suggested potential benefits, this blows my mind, of time-restricted feeding, otherwise known as TRF, in managing circadian disruptions. The study suggests eating within a specific daily window could potentially address symptoms, quote, Alzheimer's symptoms, and possibly alter the course of the disease itself. The findings challenge traditional perspectives on the disorder, shifting attention to the importance of daily eating habits, end quote. That is. TRF does not limit calorie intake, but rather the number of hours in a day a person will eat. This study reduced eating hours in human terms to 8 hours. Often, those who practiced intermittent fasting also limits calorie intake. TRF does not. Our circadian rhythm is a marvel as it functions as a body's internal biological clock. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, or known as SCN, is the master clock of the brain and body. The optic nerve is directly connected to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is why it's so important to expose your eyes to natural sunlight without glass, without sunglasses, just letting your eyes be exposed to that spectrum. Remember light spectrum, and I shared how one scientist said that if the light spectrum was from San Diego to New York City, our eyes would only see about a yard of that. There are so many other aspects, and evidently our eyes need those full spectrum light waves to go into our eyes. Okay. Anyway, the optic nerve is directly connected to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is why it's so important to expose your eyes to natural sunlight. Please, just be careful. Never, ever, ever, ever look directly at the sun because it will cause permanent damage to your eyes. So never do that. Suprachiasmatic nucleus is a group of nerve cells in the hypothalamus that regulates the body's circadian rhythm, regulating numerous physiological processes, including the sleep-wake cycle. And here's another little interesting tidbit. Every single cell in your body has a clock in it, a biological clock. The suprachiasmatic nucleus tells each of our cells when to wake up, when to go to sleep, and many other things. Scientists have found disruptions in this rhythm are very common among Alzheimer's patients. Recent estimates suggest 80% of patients experience these disturbances. Circadian disruptions not only interfere with sleep, but also contribute to increased cognitive impairment. Think of that, cognitive impairment. Don't mess with that, especially at night. In the past, researchers assumed circadian disruption in the Alzheimer's patients were simply because of the neurodegeneration. New evidence appears to show it could be the circadian disruption as the key driver of the disease itself. Repeat. New evidence appears to show it is disruption of the circadian rhythm as a key driver in Alzheimer's. Wow. This study and others have opened up new possibilities for research into whether just changing your eating habits can stabilize the body's internal clock and possibly, or maybe even prevent, Alzheimer's. Who knows? If you do research on Alzheimer's and TRF, you will discover there are several universities and laboratories doing research on this. And it will be really exciting to see if there's other neurodegenerative impacts, hopefully, for those with ALS and all those horrible other diseases. Anyway, quoting from one of the articles I came across, quote, Dr. Paula Desplatz, the senior author of one of these studies and a professor in the Department of Neurosciences at UC San Diego School of Medicine, has highlighted the significance of these findings. Understanding the role of circadian disruptions in Alzheimer's could lead to groundbreaking shifts in treatment strategies, end quote. Science Direct is really an amazing website. ScienceDirect.com is a great source for those seeking, and here you need to be careful with peer-reviewed journal articles. The more peer-reviewed a study has gone through, the more valid it is. There you can find a recent study published October 2023, volume 35, issue 10, pages 1704 through 1721 in Cell Metabolism, found on the website, exploring the potential of TRF in mice models mimicking Alzheimer's disease. The article described the mice on a TRF schedule, which restricted their eating within a 6-hour window, revealed promising results. When compared to the control group, the TRF mice showed improved memory, lower nighttime hyperactivity, improved sleep patterns. The TRF group consistently outperformed the control group. Quote, in cognitive assessment, emphasizing that TRF might curb the behavioral manifestations of Alzheimer's, End quote. Here is another mind blower. The researchers also discovered, in quotes, molecular level improvements in the TRF mice, meaning just shifting your eating patterns can affect you at the molecular level. Wow! It appears TRF reduced the accumulation of amyloid proteins in the brain, which has been a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease and neuroinflammation. Studies have found increased inflammation in the body is a sign of disease. You need to lower that inflammation. Would anyone have imagined that an adjustment in eating schedules could alter Alzheimer's progression at the molecular level? This is revolutionary. The article continued, quote, "The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. A simple lifestyle change instead of a drug-based program." I wonder what kind of pushback the drug companies would have on that. End quote. She didn't talk about the drug companies. I just added that, and I should have put end quote and then impact on drug companies. All right, just to clarify. I'm going to repeat that just so that nobody is confused. Quote, "The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity, a simple lifestyle change instead of a drug-based program," end quote, to clarify. Dr. Desplatz pointed out, quote, "Anything we can do to help patients restore their circadian rhythm will make a huge difference in how we manage Alzheimer's," end quote. It appears similar studies have confirmed these results. TRF may radically change our approach to Alzheimer's. I am so hopeful we will soon see other studies involving circadian disruptions with neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's. How many people do you know that suffer from Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's disease, muscular sclerosis? And I may add, possibly an end to daylight savings time? I can only hope. Thanks for spending this time with me. Please join me again when Granny goes down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe and share. Thank you.